Hello and welcome back. What we have here on the bench today is proof that I have gone over to the dark side. In fact, I'm a little bit embarrassed that I did this. We have one of these very cheap Baofeng two-way radios. You can get some of these for as little as $25 delivered. In dual band version. This is a tri-band version, and I have heard rumors that these not only are RF dirty, they are RF filthy, and if the rumors turn out to be true, I'm going to just send this thing back. I typically buy ICOM equipment, occasionally Yaesu. I've got a Yaesu mobile. And I stay away from this type of stuff because, one, they circumvent the rules usually. The Chinese are well known for absolutely ignoring agreements, rules. They just bend everything they can. I don't want to get off on a political discussion here, but the Chinese Communist government basically wants to take over the world, and they will do anything to undercut any other manufacturer. However, we're going to give it a fair shake. We're going to open the thing up. We're going to see how it looks at second and third harmonic. We'll try to do some testing on the receiver. We'll try to make some intermod tests to see how well this thing can reject, nearby strong signals on a different frequency. I wanted a 220 rig for a long time. I haven't had a 220 HT since my ICOM 3AT, and if any of you out there know what a 3AT is, you know how long ago that was. And I've been wanting to buy a 220 HT for a long time, so when I saw this, I figured, what the heck, I'll check it out and see what we have. However, I'm not expecting an awful lot, because a tri-band radio that is that thin, that small. I mean, there's barely room in here for the LCD and the keypad. I can't imagine this thing has any kind of filtering. This has got to be the most bare bone things inside. I could be proven wrong with all the manufacturing techniques today for cell phones, but right off the bat, oh my God, I'm looking at the front grill on this thing. This is the cheesiest looking piece of aluminum over the front grill I've ever seen. This is the UV-5RX3 for those of you at home. And the 2-meter rig's distracting me. Let me go over and shut that off. I've got to learn to shut these things off before I start these videos. Is it running? Yeah, it is. The only thing running in the background now is the air conditioner in the other room. Boy. This is just incredible. I don't think, well, it's just about half an inch thick. I don't see how they have anything in here. Another thing that annoys me about these SMA connectors for the antenna, why in the heck don't they have a BNC connector? Quarter turn off, quarter turn on. If you want to use this in the mobile, you need an SMA to either BNC or PL259 or SO239 or an N connector. And because it's threaded, you're going to have to turn the radio or take the adapter off the coax, put the adapter on here. Normally, if you have a BNC adapter, you leave it on the end of the coax, quarter turn, and it's on. I don't get the whole SMA thing. Let's see here. I should have an SMA adapter over here so we can make some measurements. Let me take a look. All right. I have an SMA to BNC. So at least we'll be able to hook the thing up to the spectrum analyzer and run some tests and see what we've got. And I'm just looking at this. I guess that's the transmit indicator. I haven't even looked at the manual yet. It's basically just the raw LED poking through a hole in the top. I mean, there's no lens, there's nothing, it's just open around the LED. This is pretty cheesy, but I guess that's what you get for your 36 bucks or whatever this thing costs. There's the manual. There's the battery, and I think this said it was supposed to be a 1500 milliamp hour. This is 1800 milliamp hour. Okay. Boy. And it's not even a good feeling plastic. You know, I've seen some reviews on these where they unbox them and they go, "Oh, this is a wonderful feeling. This feels so," you know, it must be somebody gave them the thing. Boy, what a cheesy feel. And I've also heard that the batteries tend to fall off, but we'll see. Boy, that didn't feel very secure. Is there any charge in the battery at all, I wonder? Let's see. Oh, yep, it woke up. Okay. And it's right now on 220 and 70 centimeters. What else have we got in here? We have... Oh, this must be a programming cable. It's got a USB on one end, and it looks like a speaker mic connector on the other. This one antenna, one of these must be 2 meters or a combo antenna. It doesn't say, it's not even marked. It doesn't even say what the antenna is for. There should be a 220 antenna and a 70 centimeter 2 meter antenna. And neither one of the are we in frame here? I hope so. Good God. They don't even have... Oh, I'm sorry. I'm lying to you. It's on the bottom. Okay, 200 to 260 megahertz. It's in the base. Alright, and this one says 174, 400. Very good. I'll have to take that back. Excuse me. They do have them marked as to what they are. This appears to be a lapel microphone. Okay, it's an earpiece. Oh, it's one of the earpiece microphones. Okay, earpiece mic. Got a lanyard. Boy, that's a cheesy feeling too. I'll bet that thing's just RF dirty. It's too light to have anything in it. Lithium-ion battery charger. Okay. And a plastic belt clip. Yeah, that's going to last a long time too. Okay, evidently that mounts on the back here. I'm not even going to mount that up because I've got a feeling this thing won't be in my house very long. Does it have 12 volt power input anywhere? Speaker mic? Monitor? No, it doesn't look like there is a... In fact, I thought this was supposed to come with an automotive charger. But I don't see any way to run this on 12 volts. I believe this is supposed to be an 8-watt radio. Okay. I should have known better. I should have known better. Let's... and I don't know if you're allowed to run this from the charger. A lot of radios aren't allowed to run from the charger. Tell you what, I am going to take a quick look at the instruction manual here. I know real men don't need a road map, but I think I'm going to take a look at this offline and learn a little bit about it. We'll be back. Okay, you can see our setup here. We have a couple of pass-through dummy loads to lower the transmitter output level. We're connected directly to the transceiver SMA to BNC into the dummy load. From the dummy load pass through into the spectrum analyzer. Now I'm going to key up the transmitter, and you can see there's 3 spikes there that come up. The left-hand spike is the fundamental, the middle spike is the second harmonic, and the right-hand spike is the third harmonic. The second spike is roughly in this, well, it's just above the 220 megahertz band. It's in one of the military bands. And the right-hand spike is in the middle of the 70 centimeter ham band. Now it doesn't look horrible there, but I've got the amplitude turned way down so I can't get accused of overdriving the spectrum analyzer and creating these harmonics or these spikes in the analyzer. So now I'm going to change the reference level, and we're going to increase the amplitudes a little bit so you can see them better. Alright, the fundamental is at minus 2.5 dBm. The second harmonic is at minus 19 dBm. That's a 16 dB drop. Now, by FCC rules, second harmonic has to be down 60 dB. This thing doesn't even come close to meeting FCC specifications for spectral purity. In fact, I'm not even going to bother doing receiver tests on this. This thing is so horrible in the transmit that I'm just going to box it up and send it back. I absolutely refuse to run a transmitter this dirty. I'm sure the CBeer conversion guys out there who just become hams and are paid their 23 bucks or 30 bucks for these radios are going to be happy as a clam with them. I won't be party to this. This is absolutely horrible. You don't get this with an ICOM or a Kenwood or a Yaesu. You get clean spectrum, and I care about interfering with other services. And I know there's a lot of people out there that are just in it for themselves, but I'm not that person. So anyway, the third harmonic isn't even down 60 dB. The third harmonic is only down 46 dB from the fundamental. So both the second and the third harmonics do not meet spectral purity. This is at 146.52 megahertz, by the way, in the 2 meter band. So we have the fundamental at 146.52, and then the second harmonic works out to 293.04, and the third harmonic's 439.56. And none of those 2 harmonics will meet spectral purity, not even close to 60. For the naysayers, I get these same identical results on my other HP spectrum analyzer. The reason I didn't use that one is it doesn't have the bandwidth to put up all 3 markers or all 3 frequencies at the same time. But it is designed to take 100 watts continuous directly into the front end, and the results were identical to this. So it's not that I'm overdriving this spectrum analyzer. That is truly how bad this transceiver is. Okay, here we have a nearly antique Alinco DJ-F1. This belonged to my father, and he's been gone many years. Look at that. Perfectly clean. There is nothing there. In fact, I'm going to kick the power up on this. Let's see, that was low power. This is high power. Yeah, that's at the 2 watt level, and there's nothing, absolutely nothing showing. No second harmonic, no third harmonic at all. Perfectly clean. And here's yet another radio. This is an old ADI from the dawn of time. This thing's got to be close to 30 years old. Perfectly clean. Perfectly clean. I can see maybe the barest little hump down here of a second harmonic, but it's so far down that it's, you know, it doesn't exist. And I'm dumping. This is, I think, this is a 5 watt radio. Perfectly clean. So that's what a radio is supposed to look like. Okay, here we are in the 220 megahertz band. The fundamental on the left hand side is 223. Now this looks a lot better, but it still doesn't meet spectral purity because the second harmonic at 446 is only down 56 dB. Now that's pretty close, but it still doesn't meet spectral purity. The third harmonic at 669 is minus, it's 53 dB down, not minus, it's, excuse me. Yeah, it's minus, it's down 53 dB. So that does not meet spectral purity either, although it is a lot closer on 223 megahertz. Next thing I'll do is take a look at the 70 centimeter band here. Okay, and I've just set up again to run the 70 centimeter test because evidently I didn't push the record button. So this is 70 centimeters, 430 megahertz all the way over on the right, 860 megahertz second harmonic in the center, which is pretty well down there, but the third harmonic, as you can see, is only 53 dB down. So no good on 70 centimeters either, although 220 and 70 centimeters certainly look better than the 2 meter band. Don't buy one of these, folks. Buy, you know, buy a name brand. Bite the bullet. Spend the extra money on a decent transceiver, and 10 years from now this thing will have failed miserably, will fall apart. You know, a good Kenwood, a good ICOM, you'll have it for 20 years, 30 years, it'll still be working fine, and you'll have the peace of mind of knowing that you have a decent transceiver, it's clear, you know, it's spectrally clear, and you're not interfering with people and other services on other bands. There's no excuse for this type of stuff. This is typical, let's sell them something cheap, and I don't, you know, we don't care what the rules and regulations are because we know we can get away with it, and there is no accountability. There is no way for anyone to make the Chinese manufacturer accountable for this except not to buy their crap. And I know they're capable of making a decent transceiver, however, it's going to cost somewhere closer to the neighborhood of an ICOM or a Kenwood or a Yaesu. When you make something like this for 30 bucks, you get a 30-buck piece of shit. And that's all there is to it. Okay, I've had my say. I don't know if I've reached anybody, but I'm done. This is going back to Amazon. I'm going to print up a shipping label, and they can throw it in the garbage. They can or sell it to somebody used. I don't care. I'm done with it. I'm the Radio Mechanic. See you again in a video real soon, and I'm sorry if I sound bitter, but I'm paying attention to what's going on in the world, folks, and believe me, buy something decent. Bye now.